the gentleman here. I forget I've got two in front of me down here as well. Is it just the two of you up there today?
Yes, it is. Just me and Elizabeth. Me
Mary,
and Anna.
you're not there today?
No.
I'm here.
Aye, Elizabeth, no Callum or Tony.
No, just
Or maybe Leanne's a wee down south.
Tony's not coming back.
Right, okay. And no Callum either?
No,
No.
Callum's working.
Right, we'll pray and then and we'll go through what I've got planned for you today.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just pray. Lord, we thank you for Rick's student here, Lord. We thank you for being able to look at the subject poetry in the Bible. And as we're looking through it today, Lord, as we're looking at Ecclesiastes and talking about it, we thank you for wisdom, but we're especially thank you for godly wisdom today. Help us to be wise in what we say and help us to learn from the wisdom of others that might get a closer relationship to you. Amen. Right, I'm trying my best here, saying that you're on a little bit of a time delay in terms of pictures, so your voices aren't matching what I see, but I'll try not to let that put me off too much.
Okay.
Alright.
There is quite a delay there. I would like to start by looking at the syllabus and just letting you know that I'll not be here next month. Someone else will be covering for me, which is a bit the same as the last one, but don't worry, because if you make it through to year 3, you'll get me then.
Yay!
I do need to catch up with all of you with regards to your assignments and things.
What else have I still to do? I've got something else.
That's what I want to go through. I want to go through all your assignments now and check where individuals up to. So as we look at the syllabus, we had the first thing to do was an assignment on suffering, and I've got all of yours. I've got Maria's, I've got Elizabeth's, and I've got Sharon's. So I've got that one. I've obviously looked at that, and I'll give you feedback on individual things. I have been asked to give you an overall grade for the class, which I'll do. But I'm quite happy to give you individual feedback, but not now.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want that when you see me, or if you want to give me a ring or email or whatever, I can. If you want that, I can talk you through things. So that seems fine. Then you did a presentation on Psalms, and this is where it gets a little bit fragmented for me because I'm getting things sent by email, so I'm just checking who I've got and who I haven't. I got Mary Ann's, I got Elizabeth's, I've got Maria, but I didn't get one from Sharon, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So if you go for participation, you'll need to do that, Sharon. You'll get a video, some type of presentation on Psalms.
Alright.
Do you need clarification on that, or do you know what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it, it's on the syllabus there, and it literally says, give a 10-minute illustrated talk, 3 Psalms if you're choosing, but I said you can do one if you want to. Basically, you've got to present a psalm in any way you want to.
Okay.
You want to sing a song, bit of art, PowerPoint, whatever you want to do.
Does it have to be 3 Psalms, or can I just do the one?
Just do the one if you want. It's
Right.
entirely, I'm leaving it dead open, really.
Okay.
You just do whichever way you want to do that.
Alright.
And you know, you can do psalms that it. Basically, I'm just after some type of reaction from you about a psalm,
Right.
whether it's good, bad, whether it's a PowerPoint,
Okay.
and depending on where it is. If it's a PowerPoint, you might just want to send a PowerPoint.
Alright.
If you talking, if it's you singing or dancing or whatever it is, you know, then that's entirely up to you.
Alright.
It's
How did I
10.
get that done with?
Amber.
Amber? I shall do it with a video camera. Right, okay.
So in fact, obviously, I've got that. I wasn't sure. I thought I had seen it, but obviously with things being over the internet, I wanted to check that you hadn't sent it.
Yeah, no, I haven't sent it. I've not been well, Andrew, so
Yeah, that's fine, so I'm just trying to chase up really. As we look down through so the book of Job, the assignment was on suffering, we'll talk about that. For Psalms, the assignment was that, the presentation. For Proverbs, for everyone, and this is where we might have missed out, and I know we've missed a few lessons as well through technical difficulties. But for all of you, for the book of Proverbs for February and March, remember you're not getting an exam off me, so that's why we're getting a little assignment. The assignment was, you're meant to write about wisdom.
Okay.
Now, has anyone done that little sort of essay on wisdom?
Right, that's what I want
Essay on wisdom.
Yeah, it's on your syllabus, and if you can't find your syllabus, I can always send you a one. But
How many words are you wanting?
to do. That's it, yeah.
Right, I'll read you what it says on the syllabus.
That's
Yeah,
it, right.
I'll read you what it says.
Okay.
It does say you'll be given a daily devotional book on Proverbs, reading it. Yeah, I'm well, forget about that. But it says for this, write an essay of at least 1,000 words. Now, I'm not going to count your words, but I'm after about 4 sides, something like that. If you handwrite them, type it, it'll be less than that. At least about 1,000 words concerning wisdom. Answer these questions and cover these points. But it's on your syllabus, yeah? So if you can't find, you should have your syllabus. If you can't find it, ask Amber or someone to because it's all on there, written down as I'm talking.
Okay.
And number 1 says, what is wisdom? Number 2 says, compare human wisdom versus godly wisdom. And number 3 is, how do you attain godly wisdom? How do you maintain godly wisdom? Question 4 is, how do you share wisdom in the right way? Question 5 is, use scriptures, especially from Proverbs, to back up your points concerning wisdom. It says, please include a bibliography. And if you're not used to doing a bibliography is a list of the books and references that you've read in order to get the information.
Okay.
Don't worry too much about that. It doesn't have to be too fancy-dancy for me. Just want to try and cover those points about wisdom. If you're having any problems with that, just, Bible schools about assignments, I know sort of jump through hoops. If you have any problems, just get in touch with us. I'll help you as much as I can.
Okay.
I don't want you all to panic, and I'm aware now that already you've now got 2 things to do, Sharon, so I don't want to...
That's fine, it's okay.
Trying to help you here. Right, the last one here, the book of Ecclesiastes, April to May. It says assignment, read Ecclesiastes and read the book, be satisfied. And then it says, give a 10-minute summary of the book and the parts that specifically spoke to you in Ecclesiastes. This book review will be done in May.
Is that this book?
So officially, yeah.
We just got that book.
Yeah, so when you say you just got it, when did you get it?
The last one, was it not? And the one
Did you
before?
get it last month? Yeah.
Aye. Sure, we not got it, but we should, yeah.
I've not got it.
Well, officially, you don't need to have a syllabus officially. What you're meant to do for this lesson is I'm meant to be teaching. You're all meant to be given a 10-minute summary of that book that you've read.
Alright.
And then I will give you a mark for that, and that will be your last assignment done.
Okay.
And then in the book in the month of June, whoever covers the class was just meant to do sort of a little bit teaching or a little like fun quiz, like an open quiz with you on about the Song of Solomon. So today's lesson wasn't actually me teaching. It's each one of you giving a 10-minute summary of that book. Now, I'm aware that because things have been the way they are with technology and it's not all been around at the right time, that maybe you're not prepared, any of you, to do a 10-minute summary of that book today. Am I right in presuming that you're not ready to do that?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know it. Yeah.
So if I waived that, but said that instead, let's just have a chat. Have you, just be honest with us, yeah? Because it'll help us see where we're at now. Have you read any of that book?
No.
I've actually read it last year. Did I know about it?
Yeah?
We got that last year, didn't we? I never read much of it, but
Now, Dave here, I believe, has read all of the book.
No, I've not read it all.
Dave read it 1.5 times. He's read it
Oh,
once,
no.
and half of it. Marie, have you read much of it? Marie's read the first chapter.
I think
What I
I've read
wanna
the
do-
first chapter.
What I don't want to do here is put another assignment on you, because suddenly it'll be like 3 assignments for you just for this class. You know, especially for you, Sharon. And I know that would be, you know, even for the classes as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do here is just have a general discussion here about that book. I know you haven't read it, Sharon, but the rest of the people have.
No, that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
But you've got some general biblical knowledge anyway that you can refer to.
Yeah.
You know, so let's have a little chat about the book then. It's broken up into different chapters, and we're talking about Ecclesiastes as well. When was Ecclesiastes? When did I think? And really, I'm trying to, instead of me teaching it, it's a little bit difficult through Skype, you know, and the fact that we're on a time delay. But
I know, because sometimes you can't hear you.
when did the sort of generally say that the book of Ecclesiastes was written? What part of Solomon's life did they really think it was written in? Dave? In the latter part? Would you all concur with that?
I was.
Yeah, the later part, I would presume.
Yeah, ladies, don't worry too much about looking in your Bibles and that. I know I'm on a time delay. Just sort of engage with this and discussion here if you can.
Yeah, because it's talk, I mean,
So when did they think he wrote Song of Solomon? How old do you reckon he might have been then? The Song of Solomon.
The son?
I think he would have been,
40. I'd
yeah,
say
probably in his 40s or 50s. Saying that.
I mean, I'm thinking maybe a bit young, you know, 30s, 40s, young man, you know, talking about love and all of that, you know.
aye, it was in
Yeah,
his 40s. Was he no
Can
about
you hear my
40?
kids saying Nick or no?
It was in his sinful, it's when he started sinning and things like that, so it was,
Yeah,
it was in
yeah.
his,
And
because when he
you
first
two
got
need to
anointed,
think-
he was fine, and then all of a sudden,
He started saying
he started doubting and getting greedy, and that's when everything had changed, and that's when the Ecclesiastes come in.
So I'd say about 40.
Yeah, ladies, can you hear what I'm saying okay?
Yes.
Can you hear the other two people in the room with me or not?
No.
No.
No. I'll tell you what Dave's just said then, if he says it again. He says the Song of Solomon really is about, he's contrasting his love life, you know, in real life with his love for God. You know, and he's sort of a youngish man. I'm not suggesting that older men can't fall in love. I mean, we've got Jim at the back there, older men can't fall in love. You know, obviously, you know, we can say that. You know, you don't have to be dead young to, you know, to be in love, but he's gone through that stage there, and then we get to, so you've got Song of Solomon, and then they believe the next book he wrote was what?
Solomon.
They reckon he wrote Song of Solomon when he was younger,
And he wrote
and then,
Ecclesiastes, and he wrote,
well, they reckon Proverbs was the next one. And if you think during this time he's acquiring 700 wives and 300 concubines,
yeah.
concubines, like to call them. Now, if he's got 700 wives, how many children do you reckon there was about? In the days of not very good contraceptives.
3,000.
I mean, if the average 5 children, there's 5,000 children. If the average in 10,
Yeah.
10,000 children.
Uh-huh.
We are talking about thousands, aren't we?
Yeah,
Even
we are.
when you have 1 or 2 weeks, there's 2,000. You
Thousands
know.
of children, yeah.
Say again?
Thousands of children.
Aye.
Yeah, definitely. So
Aye.
I reckon, you know, when we were at the men's cell group the other night, we were looking at, you know, a scripted train up a child and the way she'd go and not depart from your ways.
Yes.
We were looking at that and we're trying to look in context for the rest of that chapter. It goes about lots of different things. But when I think about it, right, there's a man there who God's given him wisdom, and then he tries to impart wisdom to other people. And basically what's happening is he's jumping about, he's virtually doing a line about each thing. And I thought that's probably what his life is like. If there were thousands of other people, never mind the other people in your kingdom, or your palace or anything, just thousands of people in my family. Sharon, I don't know how you cope with the, you know, when there was 5 or 6 of you in the house or wherever it was. But sometimes when it's just us 5, trying to find that moment of peace to think. I can understand why Solomon dots around from one bit of advice to another.
Yeah.
And a lot of his advice is about children, it's about how to keep calm, there's lots and lots of different things. So I think he's in this, when he's writing Proverbs, I think he's in this sort of father sort of age. You know, he's gone past the lover type age, he's in the father sort of age, whatever age that is. But then when he gets to Ecclesiastes, he's getting to the end of his life. You know, he's getting, you know, probably pensioner sort of age. Starting to reflect, you know, he's maybe gone past his midlife crisis and, you know, gone past
The kids are all teenagers.
the teenagers have probably grown up with that as well, you know. And in all of this as well, we've got to remember that he's had that wisdom from God, he's quite close to God, but then as he goes through some of these stages, I think when he was in the parenthood stage, we know that his wives, he got influenced by his wives' many religions as well. But then as he gets to his old age, I think he's sort of looking back and reflecting. Maybe he's got grandkids running around, I don't know, but maybe he's got a bit more peace and quiet. Maybe he's not trying to organise building the temple and visit the Queen of Sheba and all of that. Maybe it's a lot more relaxed now. Maybe, I'm just trying to surmise. And he's reflecting back in his life. So that's the context that we're looking at this book and the book of Ecclesiastes in. So I'm just now going to open it up, you know, to the 4 of you. If I open up with this book and just say it starts by saying this, and then when I've said it, then I'm just asking you for your opinions of the book. It talks about 3 principles. It says, let me give you 3 principles that echo in the words of King Solomon throughout the book of Ecclesiastes. Principle 1, and I'll be honest with you, I'm going to preach this tomorrow morning when I'm preaching our daughter work. I'm going to preach on that. Principle 1, I will be satisfied to the extent that that I see everything I am is from God. This is in the introductory paragraph called The Big Idea. Principle 2 says this, I will be satisfied to the extent that I notice what is going on in the lives of others. And principle 3, I will be satisfied to the extent that I trust God during times of distress. And I thought that was fantastic. That just to clarify, I will be satisfied because I realise everything comes from God. I'll be satisfied and I'll start not being selfish, but I'll look at other people as well. Satisfied to the point of I'll look from without myself to others. And I'll be satisfied to the extent that I trust God, even though I can be in a time of distress. So I thought that was a great introduction to a book. And as we look through, before I just ask your opinions here, chapter 1 is life worth living. That's something Ecclesiastes 1:8. We've got chapter 2, living in circles, Ecclesiastes 1:14-18. Chapter 3 is with life, that's Ecclesiastes 2. Chapter 4 was time and toil, Ecclesiastes 3. Chapter 5 was life isn't just isn't fair, Ecclesiastes 4. Chapter 6 was stop think, Ecclesiastes 5. Chapter 7 is life for dead ends 3, Ecclesiastes 6. Chapter 8, how to be better off, Ecclesiastes 7. Chapter 9, what about the wicked, Ecclesiastes 8. I remember in this book you've got questions at the end of each chapter as well for personal reflection or group discussion. Chapter 10 of Ecclesiastes 9 was meeting your last enemy. Chapter 11 was a little folly is dangerous, that's Ecclesiastes 10. And chapter 12 was what life is all about, Ecclesiastes 11 to 12. So that basically is the book where it goes through. I'm just going to ask you for general comments now. And anyone want to comment on, I'm not going to ask you to do a 10-minute summary, but what you got from reading that book about Ecclesiastes. Yeah. Do you want to come on over and say? No. Right, I'm going to relate to, ladies, are you okay? Because your picture's frozen, can you still hear me?
Yes,
Great. Because on my picture it looks like you're writing but your hands aren't moving, so I know you're frozen. Dave, I'm just going to repeat what Dave says to you here, just tell you about what he said about the...
This is the circle of life, it starts from the beginning.
Yeah, it says that, you know, life, there's a circle of life, and it starts at the beginning.
Don't stop at the end of life.
And then you get to the end of life,
And then it starts again.
and then it all starts again.
Just go.
I hope he's not talking about reincarnation here. But,
So it's just a vicious circle.
yeah, go on.
He's saying it's just a vicious circle.
It
wasn't vicious.
Dave says here, not a vicious circle, but definitely a circle or a cycle. Do you find that your life does go in cycles?
Well, I would say some it was vicious because he's sinned a lot in it as well. So
Well, I think he's going, do you know what it is? I mean, looking at all the
Bananas.
titles of this book, it's depression. He's suffering from depression.
in some it,
Because when I know through myself, when I've been, I'm so down and I'm so, like, those are the questions that you kind of ask yourself. You're disgusted with life, you're fed up, you just don't want to go on, and you say, life's just so unfair, and it's just so, why is all this happening to me, and all sorts of things, and you don't understand it, and you don't understand what's going on round about you. So, yeah, I would say that he's really badly suffering from depression.
Yeah, but then, you know, as he's going through as well, he's recognising that he's talking about vanity. I mean, he uses the word vanity 30 times. And he's talking about being life under the sun, you know, sort of in this sort of realm, talking about emptiness. But he's clever enough to realise that this is what he's saying is, this is life without God.
Yeah.
but then
He's recognising in himself of all the things that he has done wrong, and all the things that he shouldn't have done, you know. He recognises all that, so...
Well, actually, what I'm actually thinking there is in 8, how to be better off. He's realising the things that he's done, right? And a little folly is dangerous. Now, what he's saying is, to me, that was, he started off wee bits here and there, and it just got right out of proportion. Because a wee bit of folly is dangerous, to me. That's what he's talking about there.
Okay, I'm looking at chapter 2 here,
Alright,
and I'm picking up on chapter 2 of the Ecclesiastes, of chapter 2 of the book. And I'm just reading there, picking up on what Dave said. Everything an Indian does is in a circle, said Black Elk, the Sioux religious leader. Even the seasons form a great circle and they're changing and always come back again where they were. The life of a man is a circle, child.
yeah,
And Solomon certainly talks about this sort of, cyclic view of life. Being under the sun, nothing's changed, nothing's new, nothing's understood. That's sort of what he's like. He talks about the earth, the wind, the sea, the sun. Nothing's new. The world, man wants something new, but the world provides nothing new. And I'm just reading parts of the book here. Why do we think things are new? And then nothing's understood, life is tough. But then he says, and this is verse 13, and this is where I want to pull us to now. Life is tough, but it is the gift of God. Life is tough, but it is the gift of God.
Yeah. Because we learn from it, that's why.
Yeah, and what I've got to, the frame of mind I've got to get in is God is in control. I've got to see everything from the point of view that God is in control, and even if it seems tough, it's all for a reason, because He's in control. And because of that, everything I have is a gift from God. And even if I'm not satisfied with what I've got, and I would like more, I can be satisfied because I see it as provision from the Father that loves us.
Yeah.
It's a frame of mind, isn't it?
Yep.
And I'm not saying I always get it right. So life is tough, but it is the gift of God. Life doesn't get easier if you try to run away from it. Not everything can be changed. Wisdom and experience will not solve every problem. The man who was given wisdom from God had to come to the realization that even with wisdom, you can't wave a magic wand of wisdom and everything be put right.
Yeah.
There are still some things that you have to go through. So that was a living in circles bit. I'm just moving on to the book here. And any other, I know you haven't all read all the book like Dave has, and any other reflections on the book? No? Chapter 3 talks about being disgusted with life. It talks about enjoyment, employment, talks about hating life, Solomon considered his wisdom, he considered his wealth, and then he got to a point where he accepted life. He comes to 6 conclusions once he's been through. So what conclusions does he come to? He accepts his life. That's the first of 6 conclusions in Ecclesiastes, and these all emphasize the importance of accepting life as God's gift and trying to. I'll give you a little example that comes to mind. Yeah, and all of it can help me relate to this one. For many years we didn't have children and couldn't have them. Then we adopted 2, and then we've had our own little miracle child, and it's all the birthdays coming up soon. Jessica's 8 on Tuesday, and then Callum, Elijah's coming up 3, and then Callum's coming up 7. There are points where life is hectic, getting ready for school on the morning. When they're hiding, when they're running around, when they're fighting, when they're this or that, when they're trying to play football in the house, all that sort of thing. Help us here. Did you ever get to that point in your parenting where it just seemed dead hectic and it was quite stressful.
Yes.
And can that last for more than a few minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Can it last for more than a day?
Yes.
Can it get to a point where it goes on for weeks and weeks and it takes away your enjoyment of
Yes.
your children?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you see where I'm getting at, don't you? I was training there, and I had to self, and then say to my wife, Lynn, I had to say, we've got to be careful here. We're getting that caught up with trying to train them and get them to behave and this and that sometimes we forget to enjoy being parents.
I found when I only had the one, it was easy. But because I had the four, it was the hardest thing ever, especially with all the fighting and all the arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I had the one, it was a godsend, honestly.
So they got to teenager years.
Elizabeth, I'm not even thinking about that yet. I'll be coming to you for help in a few years' time.
No, if your children are alright when they're younger, if they're no too hyper, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
If they're hyper, cut it before they get to the teenager years.
Yeah.
That's what I worry about, because I'm hyper now.
Well, cut them.
I'm saying
You need to cut that right now.
I suppose what I'm trying to say is, I thought about this when I was reading the book. If you get to the point as a parent where you're just trying to parent and just trying to do the job and you do your best, you can forget to enjoy it.
Yes.
It's a bit like when you're in a car and you're on a journey and you're that concentrating on the journey and doing the things of the journey and getting it right, that you actually forget to enjoy the scenery as you go past.
You just go through the emotions.
Yeah.
You forget that sometimes you need to stop, get out on the journey and enjoy it and, have a break and, reflect and I think on the journey of life, Solomon's got near the end of the journey here, but he's reflecting back on his life and he realises, yes, he's done a lot of things wrong. And the thing that I'm really getting from it, for the parenting is a big thing for me at the minute because that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
20 years ago it wasn't a consideration for it, And Dave said, hey, you learn by your mistake. But, I get the point and think, well, I've been a parent for 5 years now, and if I'm not careful another 5 years, there will be teenagers, and they mightn't want to hug us anymore, and I mightn't see them, I mightn't share meals with them and all of that. I'm trying to get myself to stop controlling things and actually try to enjoy the journey. And we can be like that as Christians, can't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can be like that in life in general. Life can be so overwhelming sometimes, even as a Christian, balancing work and family and church and Bible school and this and that, trying to balance all of it.
You've still got to have fun in your life.
Yeah.
There's got to be a bit of fun, a laughter.
Yeah.
Laughter.
I could have looked at this lesson and said, these 4 students need to do 10 minutes summary on this book, and that's the way the lesson should go. But my common sense said, look, they've already had other things to do, they've got some catching up to do here, it's the end of the day, they've had a busy day, they're nearly at the end of 2 years of study here, let's just talk through it together and reflect. And what I'm trying to model is what I'm trying to get across from this book and from the book of Ecclesiastes is that sometimes we just need to actually remember what it is we came into this for.
Yeah.
We didn't come